day 441. Day rating is a 7. Woke up at what time we get up? Like 5:45. To get up for the first run. We walked the dog. Hope had a good time. She's in bed. She was whining already, trying to get some sleep. We did the group run with Together We Live, and had my new buddy Grant there, and he was just an amazing guy. He just had an opportunity to meet the family, and right away they were smiles and all happy, and just said, Grant likes to make requests, so he likes if you sing songs. It's normally EIO, or I think someone said it was from Greece. I don't know. But this, I'm trying to remember the name of the song. But it's also farm animals, so like cows, cats, dogs, monkeys. And there's a couple other ones in there, like it said camel, and like an armadillo or something. I'm like, I don't know what kind of sound those ones make. But you definitely got a kick out of dogs, and like seeing dogs on the run. I got to run with Rachel and Joe, so we got to chat a little bit along with Grant. And Grant had a blast. You could just see him get so excited every time he started singing. Like the wheels on the bus go round and round. Or the song is ooh ee ooh ah ah, chang chang wah wah bang bang. Just man, the kid loved it, and it was great. Made for a great run. Very entertaining, very fun to see him light up, start clapping, get excited in the chair. So then I got to talk to Tim, the buddy who's kind of the director, owner of the group, and asked him how long he's been doing the group and how he got started, and his story was just amazing. He said he had a niece who had some health issues, but they had bought a chair for her, and unfortunately they had passed away before they had a chance to use it. And I can't remember if he said a year or two later he bumped into someone who I believe had cerebral palsy, but he said this person was exactly like my niece, and my floor just dropped. I just dropped down. I didn't know what to think. It's almost as if it's someone that had come back to life, right? Just in another body. And he said, he contacted the family. He said, I know this is weird. You don't know me, but can I please make this request and run with your daughter? Here's the story of kind of me, and I just feel like I'm supposed to do this, and it's like it would be an honor to have her do part of this race with me. And that's kind of how this whole group started, and he went from there, and it was crazy to see that. And he says, we're about 10 years in, and he said we're growing every year, and so it's like I look forward to the day when I have more people here than I do have chairs to push them in. It's like that's a good problem to have. And I said, yeah. So yeah, I think that was the story. Just he liked that the volunteers were showing up. He liked that the kids were having a great time. He liked that the families were enjoying it and had a good experience with that. So that just, put you way up here to start the day. It was an amazing experience. Glad I got to go for a second time. So I think the next one we want to do is maybe try to find a race where we can do with Grant or one of the other kids, and then possibly see if we can. I guess there's some other times of races you can do a relay for the triathlon, or so either find a race that's a triathlon that we can help someone with, and be a relay partner or just do the full race. So we'll see. But definitely stuck with me. Hopefully going forward there's more opportunities like that. Then came back, had a protein smoothie, took a little nap, played with the pup a bit, and then right back to looking online for places to live. Got a lot of frustration, didn't get too far. Then talked to my dad a bit, talked to a couple of friends, and just about the day, and then anyway, the Suns game. The Suns game did not go well. They lost by about 30 points, and they didn't show up. I mean, their big three just had no points, I think, until the second quarter. And Dallas came out ready to play, and Doncic was scoring points, and his other teammates were scoring a lot of points, and so it just got ugly real quick. So unfortunately, the Suns are out, which is tough to see. It's tough to hear, but they had a great run. There's no denying that. So just back to the drawing board next year. Then I also got to do another 8-mile run with my buddy Helen. And oh my gosh, they said they wanted to do. I texted them earlier and they had mentioned, well, no shortcuts, Dave. And well, where's your shortcut at? Like, what are you looking at? Because that's all in perspective as far as how you're taking it. Because you could run every day. It's. And I tried to text him. Coming from being a running coach for a while, I know a lot about that, and I guess the way I put it in perspective is you start coaching and you have all these kids and they say, I want to make it to state, I want to make it to nationals, but they say that weeks before that happens. And the tough thing is that you don't win nationals, or you don't go to nationals, you don't go to state weeks before it happens. That happens in the off season when you put in the time and all that extra effort when no one else is training, or when you wake up in the summer and you feel too tired to go out, and you still find a way to get out. That's when you start winning those moments and getting those small victories. So in my head I'm thinking, yeah, it's not cutting corners, but what's your perspective? Like, what's your timeline? What are you trying to do? Are you just trying to stay in shape? Because maybe a 10-mile run isn't going to do a lot of good, as opposed to a 5 to 6 mile run where you could run harder, faster, and not just long and draw it out. And then we get there, we're running, and then Helen's having a hard time because it's still pretty warm. So we walked for about 20 minutes until, okay, let's try to run. I was like, okay. And the pace was off and on for a bit just because they had a hard time dealing with the heat, but we finished 8 miles, didn't do 10, but the pace was, I think, a little bit slower than her average 10:50, 11-minute pace. So, but she toughed it out. So I think that's what counts, is you put in the effort. So we'll see what happens going forward. See how they feel about more miles or less miles or pace. And then came back, walked the pup, played with the pup a bit. She had a good time. Didn't do too much searching online. I'm just gonna wait till tomorrow, but it's back to work tomorrow. It's back to emails a week, so a lot of fun emails to jump back into. Oh, and that's it for the day. Did 120 push-ups for the day. Just a few jump squats, about 20 jump squats. No extra lifts outside of that. That's the day. Feeling pretty tired. Started dozing off on the couch, so tried to make that decision to come in here and finish the video so I can go to bed. Here we are, calling it a night. So run your life with health and happiness, and have a good night.